Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody, welcome. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. For those of you that have been with us during the last show and you got yourself an energetic upgrade, now you're going to find out why. Your Yin Yang Body Type. That's it. Yin Yang. And that's the way I say it. And, you know, we're going to talk about this because I got this incredible book that Dr. Gary Wegman put together. And it is... you could tell when someone, Benny, is so dedicated, committed to the work they do in the world. Really can. You know, you come out of the gate and you look at the book that they write. Like I was talking about Colette and her book. This is the same idea. You get this book and you think to yourself, wow, there is so much information in here. But what is the information that's in his book? Well, we're going to talk about what this tradition is today because he's joining us in the show. But it's not just about saying, well, wait a minute. All of us have heard about this yin yang. We've heard about it. And if you haven't heard about it, you're going to hear about it now. But then what does it mean? And how do I know which one I am, or am I both? Or how do we create harmony in all of this? Harmony is my favorite word. And so when I get to think about this and introduce all of you, I love introducing you to Dr. Gary Wegman. One of the things that you should know is that he is somebody that doesn't just practice Oriental medicine. He is someone that embodies the essence of the traditions. That's very different. You and I can go work with a bunch of people and say, oh, okay, yeah, we went, we saw a practitioner. No, you want to be around someone like him because what he does is he lives the essence energetically of what we're about to talk about today. That is very different. So when you read a book, you know, that Dr. Gary puts together and you're opening the book, it's not just like a book. It's not a book anymore. It now becomes an experience and you start to be introspective, as I was just with him on the show before we came on. So today, fasten your seatbelts because what we're going to talk about, we got 3 copies, Benny, of the book to give away, is what is this idea? Do I actually have a type of body type that's going to help me understand things? I don't know. Dr. Gary Wegman joining us. Dr. Gary. Do I?
Oh, yes, you do. And hopefully we'll figure it out by the end of our interview today.
Wow. Okay, so what I loved about reading about you and your work, and a lot of it I didn't talk about, you know, first of all, you're in Portland, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right down the road from us. You're just right down the road. Portland, Oregon.
Just a hip skip,
just
jump. Whatever other expression goes.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Thank you, Ben.
Hop, skip, and a jump, Benny. Thank
you. Or you're that, what's that train? We've got the rail system now that zips us right down there. Portland's a beautiful, beautiful place. I want to ask you this question. Usually when I have something like this come across my desk, there's usually a story. And here's my question. What did you do? What did you have to overcome? What obstacles, Gary? What obstacles, what challenges did you have to overcome to bring you to this very moment to be talking about this?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I thought that was very, very insightful and very true, and it makes me feel humble. Really, I really appreciate that. Well, personally, as a Yin Type B, the Yin Type Bs are born with a weaker spleen system. Now, the spleen system is in charge of the digestion in Sasang medicine, which is what the book is about. Your Yin Yang Body Type is about Sasang medicine. And so the spleen system is in charge of the digestive system. Now, the digestive system, of course, we can say is in charge of breaking down foods, turning food into energy. But it also has to do with our ability to digest our surroundings. In other words, take in. And with a weaker spleen and digestive system, the yin type B has trouble doing that, or has a tendency towards difficulty being with other people. Just like, for example, taking in a large meal or looking at a large meal in front of you. It's not necessarily, for some people, they can eat as much as they want, but for the yin type Bs, they're very, very sensitive to that. So if they see a large meal in front of them, all of a sudden, their stomach will say to them, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. Well, the same thing is when they are out and about. If they're around a lot of people, or if there's a challenging situation, they tend to want to crawl inside and be protected and feel comfortable, which is the yin type B's most important feeling. Every body type has a predominant emotion or a predominant feeling. For the yin type B, it's this need for comfort. So I had to overcome my own comfort to feeling of need for comfort all the time to really go out in the world and make things happen in my life. And I, coupled with the need for comfort, the yin type Bs also have a really strong kidney, which is also a very interesting organ. Of course, the kidney filters the fluids within our body, but also what it does is it's the organ in the deepest organ in our body, or yin organ we say in our body. So it's dark and murky down there, but the kidney has this ability to cleanse this dark and murky place. So in Oriental medicine, we say the kidney gives us willpower. And so the yin type B has this very, very strong willpower. Even in the darkest, murkiest of places, the yin type B is able to feel this sense of urge to do something, to change something. But again, it's coupled by this real strong desire for comfort. And when they don't achieve that comfort right away, they tend to want to crawl back into this dark place where nobody's around and it's very quiet. But this willpower also just was so strong with me since I was a child. I felt it and didn't know what to do with it. It was like an urge or a lion inside of me that was really, really wanting to come out, but afraid to come out. So there were several situations in my life that really, really brought it out. One was early on in life, the loss of my father. And he died, he had a brain tumor, and he died a slow death. And what I think really did him in was not so much the tumor itself, which probably would have, but the medication he was taking and the slow, arduous process he had to go through. So I saw that, and I realized shortly after that I needed to do something for people. I needed to crawl out of my shell and start something great for people. And I didn't want to do it the old-fashioned Western way. I wanted to find an old-fashioned way somewhere else. And at that time, I got very interested in Asia and especially the Japanese culture. And I really can't explain to you, Pat, why, but it was there. And so I followed it and followed it and followed it. And that eventually led me to Oriental medicine. There's a lot of obstacles along the way. Nothing really truly major, but definitely obstacles that really forced me to put myself out there in front of people. And I have to say right now, as a practitioner of Asian medicine and Sasang medicine, every day I have to challenge myself to be there for other people when, this deep down inside urge says to me all the time, just, Gary, listen, you're more comfortable in the mountain. You're more comfortable in that dark, murky place in the cave, and so I have to literally pull myself out of that every single day I go to work. And once I get that started, once I can finally digest it, or warm myself up to digest it, because the Yin type beasts tend to be on the cooler side.
Yeah.
Then I'm finally in the mood, and I'm like, okay, this is great. My patients and I are having this wonderful energy starting. But man, every day, Pat, it's a challenge.
Yeah. I mean, what I love about this is usually, there is a story that attracts us to something that becomes our life's calling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's hard to explain it. And that's why I always started to ask that question, right? And the question has been important for me. It's actually been part of the show for over 13 years. And so when I ask that question, it's usually because most of us have something interesting, if not all of us. I really do believe that while we're unique, that there is a facilitation that happens in our lives. We're going to take a short break and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the facilitation that got you to this place to write this book, your Yin Yang Body Type. When we come back, we're going to talk about this, what the body types are, and why they're important in this day and age to understand. Stay tuned, everyone. We will be right back.
Seems like I've been lost and let's remember. If you think I'm feeling older and missing my younger days, then you should.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
Tune in to the Angels and Answers Psychic Radio Show with clairvoyants Artie Hoffman and Sky Siegel every Thursday for a 2-hour show, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio. Artie and Sky deliver spiritual and motivational messages with passion and a sense of humor. Call in 800-930-2819 for live and on-air readings. Visit artiehoffman.com and skyofangels.com.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune in to Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Almost everyone at some time in their lives ask themselves, what am I? Most of our questions are ego-generated and simply don't address the problem of our false self. It's time to relax your ego and embody your soul. Dr. Dan Cohen, neurologist, inventor, and author, has created tools to awaken, a new way to transform from who you thought you were into what you truly are. Visit toolstoawaken.com today.
everybody. It's great to have you tuning us in, turning us on. For more information about me and the Dr. Pat Show, go to thedrpatshow.com. For more information about Transformation Talk Radio, transformationtalkradio.com. Dr. Gary, what's the best website to send people to find out more about you and to get a copy of the book?
Sure. Well, there's two websites. To get a copy of the book and to find out more about your Yin Yang body type and the body types in general, you can go to sasangmedicine.com. That's SASANG medicine.com. You can also, if you're interested in studying more about Sasang medicine, you can check out our institute, the American Institute of Korean Traditional Medicine, which is koreanmedicine.us, koreanmedicine.us.
Super. So let's talk about how this has come to be. And I guess what I want to talk about when we say yin yang, many people don't understand the concept itself. And I would love for you to talk about it, because I think it will help for folks to understand more about why this book is so important and how it helps us in our day-to-day life. What have you discovered?
Sure. So yin and yang, even though the word is a Chinese word and sounds foreign, is really a concept that applies to just about everything. And when we look at yin and yang, we see, the yin and yang symbol, the black and the white, and the contrast between them. But really, this concept illustrates not the black and white, not the extremes, but that everything is a shade of gray. And it's actually a theory of relativity. So in other words, we never say that one thing is completely yin and one thing is completely yang. We always say that it's maybe a little bit more yin here and a little bit more yang there. And the body types are the same thing. We have yin body types and yang body types, but they're not necessarily just pure yin and pure yang. As a matter of fact, the yin types can develop some yang traits and the yang types can develop some yin traits. So basically what we're saying when we talk about yin and yang is describing how all phenomena have different aspects, opposing aspects, and that's what keeps them balanced. So, for example, yin correlates with the moon, yang is the sun. Yin correlates with down, yang correlates with up. Yin correlates with cold, yang correlates with heat. And the list goes on and on and on. You never have cold in its pure form, and you never have heat in its pure form. So even the yin type bees tend to be on the cold side, but once they warm up, they're good to go. So the yin and yang are just basically relative ideas that apply to just about everything, but they also apply to people. And for example, inside our body, we have yin organs, which are in the lower part, and yang organs, which are in the upper part. So the yin organs in the lower part are the kidneys and the liver. The yang organs in the upper part are the lungs and the spleen. And so when yin and yang interact, they cause energy to flow. So if we look at the yin and yang symbol, it's kind of like a wave, if you will, where yang flows into yin and yin flows into yang. And it's this ever-flowing circle. And so inside our body, if we're born with stronger yang organs, for example, those yang organs will help push the energy down, help descend the energy. If we're born with stronger yin organs, it'll help ascend the energy, so push the energy up. So again, there's no pure this or pure that, so we're all born with little or aspects of both, which makes it really difficult to determine your body type. So the yin and yang is basically a theory of relativity, and that all things are never just purely this or purely that. Neither is the human body perfect. And so we're born incomplete. In other words, we're born with different areas of our body that have been emphasized in fetal development, or even before, even prenatally. And so these aspects are with us throughout our life. And whenever we have a stronger aspect, a stronger energy, if that energy flows towards the weaker aspects, we're balanced. But you see, if everything was in harmony and everything was in perfect balance and yin and yang were just perfectly balanced, there would be no flow.
Uh,
It's the whole idea behind diffusion, or the law of thermodynamics, law of physics, which basically says that you have an area of high pressure, high density, and an area of low pressure and low density. And what happens naturally is that area of high density will naturally flow towards the area of low density. So if we're born with what we can refer to as hyperdeveloped lungs, or lungs that are stronger than the other organs, and we are the body type if we're born with a hyperdeveloped lung, that makes us a Yang type B. Well, that same body type has a hypodeveloped liver. That liver during the prenatal period, or in fetal development, was not emphasized energetically. So it's smaller, or it's not necessarily size is smaller, but it doesn't function up to par with the rest of the organs in the Yang type B. So the healthy Yang type B will have energy that flows smoothly from their stronger lungs, the hyperdeveloped lungs, to their hypodeveloped liver. That would be a state of harmony and balance. And it would be, you never get them to be exactly the same, otherwise you wouldn't have flow. So flow is flowing from a stronger area, more developed area, to a weaker area, or a hypodeveloped area. So that's yin and yang in a nutshell, but there's a lot more to it.
Well, but what we're talking about is, having a body of knowledge that's going to allow us to understand some things. And this is really what I think we're discovering in the world today, is we're discovering that people really are wanting to understand the nature of things. It used to be that I think we went through a couple of decades where we would take everything as being a yes. If something was on a label, we'd say, oh, okay, that must be true. Then, if somebody said, oh, don't eat fat. Don't eat fat. Cut fat out. We would cut fat out. And I think what we've learned along the way is that, kind of robotically, we went through several decades of not questioning things or understanding things. I think we're at a place now, Dr. Gary, and this is why this is an important conversation, where, people are now looking for alternative solutions. So, if you're growing up in a world and the world says chronic Lyme disease doesn't exist, and yet there are hundreds of thousands of people with it, you're kind of saying, wait a minute. So don't you find that what you've been able to do here is a way for people to understand the dynamic that most of their life they've never had to pay attention to?
Yes, I do. And I think you're absolutely right in saying that there's a shift of consciousness now where people are looking beyond. It's interesting. I think this shift it's a halfway shift. I think we have to go further, because what I'm noticing with my patients and with people that I speak to is that, yes, they are now starting to realize that health is something they need to take into their own hands to some degree. Of course, it's good to have the advice of others, professionals. But I'm noticing this shift. So what's happening is now a lot of my patients are looking for the remedies themselves, doing research on the internet, which is a great source. And sometimes it gives you a little bit too much information,
right?
But a great source nevertheless to do, because really the internet, what the doctors say about this pharmaceutical medication or this supplement is something that you can get from the internet easily. It's that human touch that I think really is what us healers or doctors are for the client, that human touch. And I also feel that we are not quite there yet, because as a collective consciousness, if you will, we are searching, but we still have a tendency to search outside ourselves for a lot of these answers. And also you hear a lot about this particular supplement for this particular symptom, that particular supplement or herb or whatever for that particular symptom, rather than looking inwards or having a way, a compass that we can use to see what it is that our own unique body needs. And the more we understand that, the less expensive, the less fancy, the less we have to mix up a bunch of these herbs, And Pat and I, you were just talking to me about ginger.
Yes.
Well, ginger can do so much for the yin type B. It can help them with their digestion, help them clear away from colds, prevent colds, help cure cold even. And so there's so many things that just one simple herb like ginger that almost every supermarket has can help with. And it's knowing ourselves, knowing how our body feels when that ginger goes inside, knowing what it does, knowing our body type, that helps us understand. And the answers are a lot more simple that way. A lot of the time with the supplements on the shelves, it says this is good for colds or this is good for headaches. We wind up taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different things. Some of them will help, maybe.
Yep.
Some of them could have helped if we didn't take so many.
Yeah.
So it's really narrowing it down and realizing that the answers are through the ability to listen. The answers come through the ability to listen what our body and inner heart and our mind is saying. And that is the biggest challenge. So I think we're halfway there. The rest of the shift is really, really reaching inwards and understanding what it means to be, what is our life's path? What is our life's mission? We all have it. And how do we get there? What is it about us? Is it the fact that I like comfort that can help me help other people feel comfortable? And do I radiate joy? And then so what kind of herb radiates joy? Well, there's a lot of them. What herbs help comfort our spirit? There's a lot of them too. And these herbs help the body types overcome different things in their life, like colds and indigestion and getting through menopause, for example.
Yeah.
Many, many different ways.
Yeah. And one of the things that you do is you break this down so well in the book. When we come back, we're going to talk about emotions and what has Dr. Gary Wegman, what has he done to break down this idea, this harmony, this component of who we might be, these body types. How does it make a difference? But what about an emotional type? Well, we're going to talk about that and much more. And by the way, his book, for those of you out there, they're going to receive a copy of his book. His book has virtues in it, but there's also a way for you to take a quick survey to find out, wow, which one am I? Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to give away a copy of the book. We'll be right back.
To the way you move, everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home, you're like a dream come true. But if by chance you're here alone, can I have a
Hi, I'm Leslie Fontaine with Sheer Alchemy on Transformation Talk Radio, and here's my tip of the day. Let's talk about unlimited thinking. Let's talk about limitlessness. What would it look like and feel like? Is it only for special people? What if you aren't living a very abundant, powerful life right now? Is this opportunity closed off to you? Absolutely not. This is your chance, without lifting a finger, even telling anyone around you, or leaving the house. You can begin to step into all that you are and all that you were meant to be. Pay attention to the arguments that arise as you articulate the limitlessness of your opportunities, your finances, and the loving and supportive friends and family members around you. Draw them in. Let's shift those agreements from the lower level energies to those that allow you to step into all that you are. Visit me at lesliefontaine.com and listen to Sheer Alchemy on transformationtalkradio.com.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Do you want the freedom to spend more time with your loved ones? Travel the world? Live spontaneously? Get ready, because the Chip Justice Show is here. Hosts Dr. Pat Basile and Chip Justice can help you build meaningful success while embracing life. Living a life you love is the end game in this new, inspirational, and empowering show. Positive changes for a life you'll love. Tune in every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit PositiveChangeInstitute.co for more information.
Have you ever tried to make lifestyle changes but had difficulty following through? Imagine what it would be like to get up each morning with energy, clarity, and motivation to tackle the day. If you want to get past limiting barriers that are preventing you from living your best life, join holistic health and wellness coach T. Carey Mitchell each month on the Dr. Pat Show, or visit lifestyle120.com today and start to receive the personal attention you deserve.
Discover the 8 things the elements of prosperity want you to know. Lynn Brown is hosting a life-transforming, soul-expanding evening on April 30th featuring guest speaker and radio host Dr. Pat Basili. Lynn was guided to make this a by-donation event for entrants, and all proceeds will be donated towards uplifting the homeless community. For more information and to get tickets, visit eventbrite.com. That's eventbrite.com and type Lynn Brown in the search.
It was just like a movie. It was just like a song.
Hey, everybody. So great. Thanks for tuning us in, turning us on. Dr. Gary Wegman joining me here. Dr. Gary, before we jump again, what I'd like to know is, again, the best way to find out more about you.
Sure. So you can log on to my website at sasangmedicine.com. That's SASANG medicine.com and learn about the Sasang medicine. You can also go to koreanmedicine.us and learn more about courses that you can take to learn more about the Sasang medicine approach.
Yeah. And let's do this. I got a copy of the book to give away right now, Mr. Benny. 1-800-930-2819. And we're going to talk about everything that's in the book here at some point. But I'd love to give a copy away because having this and experiencing it is going to give you some tips, right? You know, how does this all relate to emotion? And then how does it relate to, body type, emotion, and then food and diet? 1-800-930-2819. Before the break, I talked about emotion, and I said, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to fill out the body type chart. And I told you that some of the questions were pretty tricky for me. And so, what I discovered is that, if I take these questions and just fill them out, I end up as a B. I scored the highest in the B section, group B, followed up by the highest in the C section. Right, followed up by the lowest in the D section. So, when I looked at this, some of the questions made sense. Like the ginger question. I don't eat ginger because I want to feel better. I eat ginger because there's something about it that makes green tea better.
Sure.
So like that. So can you talk about, the types, but also. Sure. Why is it important to include a conversation about emotion in here?
Well, according to Sasang medicine, emotion is everything. Because emotion is energy, and Sasang medicine is a metaphysical approach to medicine. In other words, when we talk about the liver, we're not just talking about the liver from a Western medicine point of view, which just detoxifies, filters the blood, is so big and so heavy. We're talking about the energetic function of the liver, which actually kind of carries over to the other organs as well. But even more importantly, when we talk about the liver in Sasang medicine, we're talking about an emotion, just like we would the lungs and the spleen and the kidney, etc. So the emotion tied in with the liver is joy. And the Yin type A has a stronger liver, so they tend to radiate towards joy, or they tend to sort of bring out joy in others, even if they're not feeling joyful themselves. So this emotion, energy, we carry with us, and depending on your idea of or your philosophical ideas, we could say that this emotion we carry with us is carried with us from lifetime to lifetime, or at least before even conception. And so, and the reason for that is because emotion is energy. And these emotions, since they correlate with the organs, they make the stronger we radiate towards a particular emotion, the more this emotion will trigger and stimulate the production of its correlating organ. So if we're born with stronger lungs, for example, well, sorrow correlates with the lungs. And so we have a propensity, we tend to be sorrowful if we are a yang type B, which is born with the stronger lungs. So this sorrow, if they learn to balance, could be very productive, like feeling sympathy for people who really need that sympathy, and feeling sympathy for the world and the planet. It helps bring out our desire to care and to take care of our surroundings, including ourselves. So these emotions, when balanced, the yang type A, for example, has a stronger spleen system, which again correlates with the digestive system, but it also has to do with anger. Just like the stomach, what does it do? It's basically just it's basically just sort of a container with a bunch of acid in it, And so if you think about a container with a bunch of acid, just ready to break down anything that goes inside of it, there's anger there. There's anger. And so the yang type A radiates towards anger. But we need that anger to stand up for injustice, for example.
Yeah.
Our stomach needs that anger to digest this food. So we're born with these tendencies, these traits that if we learn to balance, we can certainly be much, much healthier. And we can do that with herbs. And Sasang medicine is a very detailed herbal medicine. And there's hundreds and hundreds of herbs that we talk about in Sasang medicine. And each body type has over 100 herbs. And what these herbs do is they help balance these emotions. They help send energy from our stronger to our weaker organs. And so the tests in my book help us figure out which body type we are by understanding these traits a little bit more. And for example, you mentioned sweating. The Yin type A has a little trouble sweating. The Yin type B does too, but more so the Yin type A. And the reason why they have trouble sweating is because this stronger liver, this liver is very absorbing and it wants to take in everything. It doesn't want to release. The stronger a liver it is, the more congestion it can be. More congested it can become. And the Yin type B also has a little trouble sweating because they have trouble getting warm. Because the kidney is like the body's air conditioner. It cools it down, and the kidney is the Yin type B's stronger organ. So they have trouble getting warmed up. So that's another trait. There are other traits, for example, that, just many, many different traits. For example, which part of the body feels stronger? Is our upper body stronger? The yang types tend to have upper body strength stronger. The lower body tend to be stronger with the yin types. And one particular body type, if they catch a cold, it takes them a longer time to overcome it. That's because they have a weaker lung. That would be the Yin type A. And so there are many, many different things that we have to look at, and also especially our emotional inclinations. Like we say for the Yin type B, our emotional inclination is to radiate towards comfort. And if we can't find that comfort, then we become very, very almost hypersensitive to our environment, almost phobic, if you will, or even phobic. And that's because they can't find this trait that exists so deep inside of them. And so knowing about these traits, knowing about these trends, the body type test helps. Also, if we have a stronger upper body or hyperdeveloped upper body, that shows in our physique. And so there, in the book, there's also, you can find out about your body type through looking at the physical features as well.
Well, and some part of this too is really understanding, how some of these things relate or interrelate. And, one of the things I was really struck by when I take a look at, some of the things you've listed, and you've got so much information, I want to make sure that folks out there that you all understand, you can call in if you've got questions as well. 1-800-930-2819. Or you could go to the Dr. Pat Show or Transformation Talk Radio. And what you can do is send your question in online. And go right to our instant feedback question, and there you go. You'll be able to type it in. But for today's show, if you call in, you definitely will be able to call in, and let's give away another copy of the book. Benny can take your questions too. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. When we come back, we're going to talk about healing. How does healing then fit into all of this? Some fascinating things that are shared here. What if you're kind of like, well, you know, I'm over here, I'm a type B here, I'm a yin, but wait a minute, I really don't like cereal and grains. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Pat. Many of you have heard me talk about the Lyme disease epidemic going on right now in the world. I want to tell you about my friends at Results RNA. They have now created an entire Lyme support system for immune system support, detoxification, rejuvenation, and neurological healing. Please visit resultsrna.com to learn more, and for first-time orders, you'll receive a special 10% discount. All you have to do is type in Dr. Pat at checkout.
In retirement, will you have enough money to live life on your terms? Everyone has retirement questions. Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeff Packman about the new Confident Retirement Approach. You and Jeff can break down retirement planning step by step to get the real answers you need. In fact, 93% of clients who've had the Confident Retirement Approach conversation feel more confident about their retirement. Call Jeff Packman, financial advisor, at 425-453-0272 for your Confident Retirement conversation today. Office is located at 601 108th Avenue Northeast, Suite 1800, Bellevue, Washington, 98004. Percentage based on Ameriprise Financial Confident Retirement Client Survey as of December 2013. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. A registered investment advisor, Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
I'm seeing the pain, seeing the pleasure. Nobody but you, body but me, body but us, bodies together. I love to hold you close.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Dr. Pat Show, Transformation Talk Radio. Copy of the book? Yeah. Let's give another one away. 1-800-930-2819. You know, why is it somebody like me doesn't de-stress if I decide I'm going to stay up all night long and watch a ton of movies? You know, while on the surface it may sound like a really good idea, or stay up all night long and do something. You know, what is it about that that doesn't really work for me? And, part of that, well, so much of it is covered in, Dr. Gary's book, of course. This hour has gone by so quickly. I would love to really talk about, and I know we're going to take a leap here, but I want to talk about healing, because for me, when we get down to it, there are a lot of people that are walking around not really very well today, Dr. Gary. And you've got a lot of things in here that could help them. How can you help us bridge the gap in this segment between body type and healing?
So, according to E.J. Ma, the founder of Sasang medicine, he said that in order to heal, we have to understand and know ourselves. And because our eyes focus outwards, we have a tendency to project ourselves outwards without reaching inwards and understanding what it's all about in the first place. So healing starts within, understanding what our tendencies are and knowing that they're not bad and they're not good. They just are tendencies, learning how to balance them out. The Yin Type B, for example, going back to me, I was always such an introverted child. My parents never always said to me, why don't you like to hang out with other kids? Why do you always like being alone? I always thought that was a problem because my parents were a different body type than I was. A lot of the time we inherit from our parents, but sometimes we skip generations. So my body type was different than theirs. They had trouble understanding why I could be at peace being alone a lot of the time. I couldn't really understand that. And growing up, I felt it was awkward, and I felt I was awkward. And when I understood that, finally, that this is my body type tendency, I really began to say, wow, okay, this is normal. This is okay for me. What can I do now to find balance and harmony in that? And Sasang medicine teaches us how. For example, Ije Ma says, well, the Yin Type B needs to carry their comfort. Okay, they need to carry their comfort like in a suitcase out of the home. So if the Yin Type B stays home all day, that's where the comfort is. They stay in nature all day or stay alone all day. They lose sense of who they are because they've been isolated. Sasang medicine talks about that we each have a mission, a path. We're born with it. It's called Chonsong. It's something that comes down from heaven into our heart. And if we understand what that is, we can overcome so much, not just psychologically, but physiologically as well. Because when we understand what our path is, we are giving a path. We're forging a path within our body of energy flow from the stronger to the weaker organs, and then throughout the whole entire body. So understanding our connection to the universe, to the heavens, understanding what our divine path is. And that comes through understanding our body type and our tendencies. And then, reflecting on that, that brings out healing. Another thing you said, Dr. Pat, found really, really interesting. I just wanted to shed some light on. You said at night it's hard to wind down.
Yeah.
Well, we say that yin correlates with the night in Oriental philosophy. And in Sasang medicine, we say the yin types love to stay up at night because they're claiming that nighttime. That's their time. They get a second wind of energy after 11 o'clock. And that's because 11 o'clock hour is when that lower body energy starts kicking in, the liver and the kidneys. So it's like this second wind of energy that they just savor. But the issue is, if they take advantage of that a little bit too much, then the next day when all these yang energies are floating around, they're like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. So when we learn about our body type, we can sort of figure out, okay, well, this is my tendency. How can I challenge it with keeping the balance at the same time?
Yeah.
And the Sasang medicine spells that out for us. It's not an instruction book per se, because it takes a lot to discover our body type. And it takes a lot to discover, it takes time. And, even with the body type test quiz, I'd recommend that not just we take it, but also our friends do for us, what they think about us, or our family, what they think about us, because we need that several different perspectives, to understand more about ourselves and our body type. So we're looking for traits, trends, those type of things.
Yeah. Well, I have the solution for that. I have the solution for the whole stay up late thing, because I know not to do it during the week. But Friday night, there we go. And,
Mm-hmm.
because I have more, I control my time more over the weekend. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that, I'm not working, but I have more control over what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking, wow, I have to get up in the morning, and get ready to do 2 to 3 hours of radio. That's not what I'm doing, right? But, the
Exactly.
other thing too is it's interesting. Have you ever found that there is this crossover? Because you and I were talking about this before. And I said, yeah, I came up as, definitely in the B column, but I was,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too far off in the C column. And when I went to look at a number of different things, especially the foods, I
Mm-hmm.
so related more to the Yang type A foods. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so much so that I started to go through here and I said, yeah, this is actually the way I eat now. The
Mm-hmm.
question is, for me, is that the way that I would eat if I didn't have so many other things that I think about my food? I don't really know the answer to that, but I'm never going to be more than 20% grains.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that about me.
Okay.
I'm going to be definitely 30% meat, milk, and and nuts. So definitely when I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at this, 55% between the meat and the fruit and the nuts, I'm all in.
Yeah, well, it's like I said before, it's very
uh,
hard to figure out your body type. So you might have to do a little bit more kind of plugging away there.
Yeah, I'll come see
You
you
know,
though.
but
I'll just
that's
come
fine.
see you. That's all I need to do.
I would love to see you, Pat. And there are ways that we can do it as practitioners, find out about your body type, through the pulse and tongue. So there are other clinical ways of doing
Yeah.
that. So that's for sure. If people have trouble, difficult time understanding their body type, we can definitely help out. But yeah, it's very true that the yin types do acquire yang traits, and the yang types do acquire yin traits. For example, the yang type A, who radiates towards anger, they may want to say, well, if I get angry at everybody, just blow up at everybody's face, I'm not doing much. So you know what? I want to add a little bit more yin trait in my life. I
Right.
want to radiate a little bit more towards joy and comfort. Now, anger and joy can flip back and forth really easily. And so the yang type can go from anger to joy. And if they spend more time in joy territory, then they can balance out their anger. Just like sometimes if we are joyful all the time, happy-go-lucky, sometimes we need to get a little angry. We need to sort of, um, not be completely okay with everything, happy-go-lucky, joy, everything, and then something comes along and, oh gosh, sometimes we need to be able to express that. So we balance out. We do it naturally without even knowing anything about Sasang medicine. We can do
Yeah.
this to some degree. So, but with diet, it's much easier to change our diet than it is to change our body type. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, in Sasang medicine, we say we can't change our body type. We're stuck with it for the rest of our life. But with diet, yes, we can try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And with diet, it's not as black and white. With herbs, it's a little bit more
Yeah.
complex because with
Yeah.
herbs, you can have side effects. And so, like in our clinic, when we give herbs, when we prescribe herbs, we're doing it in a very light form at first. But even with the
Yes.
light form, we can ask our clients, are you feeling a little bit of indigestion? So, but here's the thing, Pat, here's the thing. If you don't eat according to your body type, it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that you're going to get unhealthy. Okay?
Exactly.
A lot of the shifts that we're making in our society, in our world today, is we're making a shift towards eating healthier. And no
Yeah.
matter what, if we eat healthier, okay, we will feel better, more energy, etc. And our idea of health is different according to the individual. Okay, but in the long run, for example, the yin type B, cold-natured foods like raw foods,
Yeah.
salads,
Yep.
that eventually will cause indigestion. If it hasn't
Hmm.
today, if it hasn't tomorrow, if it hasn't next year, it will eventually. And the reason why it might not cause indigestion today or tomorrow, because we are healthy. We have enough of that basal energy. We call it
Yeah.
source yuan qi in
Yeah.
Chinese medicine and Korean
Yeah.
medicine.
Well,
Uh,
let me
so,
just say this to you. You're
mhm.
spot on when you talk about the, for me and what I filled out, the yin body type. When I start to look at what you say about, some of the things that, I like to do, how I like to do it, and what I like to do. I mean, this is so multifaceted. And so I so so completely get it. So for me to be a Yin type B and look at the exercise, the strength training and the cardio and to have meditation be 10%, that is so me. Thank you, Dr. Gary. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. We'll see you next time.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.